Welcome, Edmonton Crossroads Community Church. If you've already been watching on our Facebook or on our YouTube page, you will see that we've sung a few songs today and uploaded those, and I started reading from Mark chapter 2. But we sang, "Jesus, you're the sweetest name of all. You pick me up each time I fall." We sang looking at the people around us who are lonely, left out, and in that invitation to go and find those lonely people. They are everywhere in our city, and we need to reach out to those who are lonely, and because Jesus wants to heal us, and he wants to fill us with his love so that overflows to others. As we were reading Mark chapter 2 from Walking the Good Road, the First Nations version, we read the story of the man who was paralyzed, and his friends brought him to Jesus. And it was so packed they couldn't get in, so they let him down through the roof. And Jesus, looking at them, healed him and said, "Pick up your mat and walk." And we talk about the transformed lives, that the broken roads. It was talking about saying, Jesus, Creator sets free, says you are released from your broken ways and the things in your heart that are not true to Creator's good road. What a transformation. Broken lives healed, sins forgiven. It was because the religious people around were like, whoa, when he said you're released from your wrongdoings. And Jesus looked at him and said, what? Of course, that's the true human being, the Son of God, often translated, saying has the right to forgive bad hearts and wrongdoings on earth. And so there's this talk back and forth. So this transformation created a bit of a stir. And because it wasn't just that he healed him, but that he forgave him his sins, and the transformation that would come over this man. And then Mark, here we call him War Club. What's the name Mark means? War Club tells this story, and he continues on, and Jesus goes and sits and eats with the tax collectors and those who are sort of not on the part of the good crowd, those people over there that we don't associate with. And Jesus goes and eats with them and says he's come to bring medicine to the ones who need it, not the ones already walking the good road, but the ones who are dark-hearted and broken, and help them find their way home. And then we sang the amazing hymn, "I stand amazed in the presence." If you haven't watched it, take time and just worship and draw near to God. But Mark does not leave it there in this chapter. There's just so much. It keeps going on. And now we get to this area of new ways for old. The people all around were like looking at Jesus and his followers and saying, how come you're not doing it this way? This is the way we've always done it. How come you're not doing it this way? This isn't supposed to be how it works. There's a process that we're supposed to go through, even for healing or for forgiveness or for cleansing or whatever it is. We do it this way. And so often, as humans, we get into our own little rut, I guess, and we say, this is the way it's going to happen. This is the way it happened for me. This is the way it happened for so-and-so. This is the way it's happened in the church, in the Salvation Army, wherever we're at. And so this is the way it goes. And we talk to new people and we say, this is the way it goes. We come together on Sundays and even watch videos now. But this end of this chapter challenges that thought. When the people reached out and said, how come you're not fasting? Or why are you feasting? Why are you doing this different? Jesus, Creator sets free, gives this statement, and three of the gospel writers actually acknowledge this statement. Doesn't really tell us what it means, but says, no one uses a new piece of cloth to patch an old garment. It would shrink and make the tear worse. No one puts new wine into old wineskins, for the new wine would burst the skins. New and fresh wineskins are what is needed. Now, I'm not a winemaker, but if you understand and look this up, the concept of the skin that was used, when it is a new skin, it has ability to grow and stretch and move. But once it gets old, it loses that elasticity. It can't stretch. It just sort of gets brittle and cracks and breaks. It's an interesting analogy for us. Sometimes we get rigid and we get cracked and we break. And so this new transformation, this new way is going to stretch us. In the fermentation of the wine, there's gases that come to help do the fermentation, and so it pushes it and it stretches it and it moves it, and the skin needs to grow with it. And this is the picture that is given. And so this week I've been thinking about that. What does that mean for us at Crossroads this year? 2021, a year we've never lived before. We don't know what it holds. But as we walk this journey as Jesus followers, we are invited to see it new, not how it has always been, but in anticipation of being stretched, being pulled, growing as this process moves, as we are transformed into the image of the one who goes before us. We can't be brittle. We can't be rigid. We need to be able to grow. In the Salvation Army, we released a new vision statement at the end of 2020, a process all across Canada and Bermuda, our territory. You can go online to find this on salvationarmy.ca. But with our mission, so our mission, we exist to share the love of Jesus Christ, meet human needs, and be a transforming influence in the communities of our world. We've said that lots when we come together. But a new vision as we go forward. We want to be, we envision being an innovative partner, mobilized to share hope wherever there is hardship, building communities that are just and communities that know the love of Jesus. That's where we want to walk out in our world. We want to be innovative. We want to be able to do whatever it is God is calling us to do this year. That means we need to adapt and change and grow and stretch. We talked, even as we sang about lonely voices, picking up that phone call, calling somebody. That might not be something you do often. Maybe it's talking to your neighbor, somebody you haven't seen, you haven't heard from, you don't know how they're doing, and writing a letter. I don't know what it will be. But when we keep our ears open, our eyes looking around, and our hearts filled with that love, God will show up and He'll show us what to do, because He wants to stretch us. He wants us to grow. So I invite us to not take the old, but hold on to what is new, what is coming. This one who wants to make change, and that as we grab onto that this year, that we will grow, and that others will come with us on that journey, and we will see transformed lives, and we will see God at work in our community. I really pray that you have a wonderful week, that you just take time to meet with God, to rest in the knowledge that He holds the future, and that if you want, give us a call, touch base with us, and see how everybody's doing. God bless you, and have a wonderful week.